right, good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Everybody feeling good today?
Yay!
Well, we'd like to welcome you to the Temple of the Living God here in beautiful St. Petersburg, Florida. As one of the guests here today told me, we got the A-team up here on the stage. Give the band a round of applause. Let me you can see Lonnie back there. I appreciate you guys more than you know. Anyway, we're going to start the service out with a song, and we dedicate this to you. And this is how everything is here at the temple, right?
Amen.
All right. It's called "This Door is Open to You."
And they are today.
Yes, literally.
Literally.
Going is a place where you can take comfort in the knowing the weather. If you come to stay a while or are just passing through, this door is open to you. Come and let's be silent. Come and share a hug. Come, let's pray together. Come, love and be loved. From the blissed out to the turned out, from the pampered to the abused, this door is open to you. Come on in.
Come on in.
Come on in.
Come on in. The God in us recognizes the God in you. Whether you're black or white, gay or straight, Christian, Buddhist, or Jew, this door is open to you. The God in you. Whether you're black or white, gay or straight, Christian, Buddhist or Jew, this door is open to you. If there's some kind of trouble, the pain you're going through, know that you are not alone and someone cares for you. As an individualization of divine point of view, this door is open to you.
Come on in.
Come on in.
Come on in.
Come on in. The God in us recognizes the God in you. Whether you're black or white, gay or straight, Christian, Buddhist or Jew, this door is open. This door is open. We open our door to you. Yeah.
Come on in.
Who is here from Cincinnati, Ohio. She's a native of that part of the world, for those of you that know it, and has been a businesswoman for over 30 years in a family-owned natural food service restaurant, and sold that, and now is in the ministry. I'm not even sure how long. She's many years into the ministry.
I started in the restaurant.
She did. She was in the restaurant business, and people kept saying, you ought to be in the ministry. And guess what? That happened. Well, they have a wonderful church called Unity of Garden Park in Cincinnati. For any of you that ever travel back to that part of the country or have family there or visit, plan to look them up. They have a lovely, lovely environment, a lovely service, wonderful people, and of course, the leader of the organization is an inspiring woman. Her lovely husband is here today as well, Michael Weller. Would you stand, please?
There he is.
Yeah. He is part of the team, and he's part of the WOW team. So after the service today, all of you who are going to be staying for the workshop are invited to food and fellowship in the rear of the building. And that'll precede the workshop itself. So if you intend to stay, please take advantage of that as soon as possible so that we can begin the workshop on time. Kathy, I am not going to say one more wonderful thing about you and just let you say what you're going to say and do your wonderful presentation.
Okay.
God bless you and welcome.
you.
Welcome to the temple again.
Thank you. Great to be here again.
All right, let us listen to Carol and the Goodfellows.
Think of your fellow man, give him a helping hand, put a little love in your heart. You see it's getting late, oh please don't hesitate, put a little love in your heart. And the world will be a better place, and the world will be a better place for you and me. You just wait and see. Another day goes by and still the children cry. Put a little love in your heart. If you want the world to know, we won't let hatred grow. Put a little love in your heart. And the world will be a better place. And the world will be a better place for you and me. You just wait.
And the world will be a better place. And the world will be a better place for you
For you
and me.
and me.
You just wait
You just wait.
and see. We'll see. Now when you're looking down, put a little love in your heart. If you want the world to know, we won't let hatred grow. Put a little love in your heart, and the world will be a better place. And the world will be a better place for you
For you
and for me.
and me.
You just wait
You just wait.
and see. Put a little love in your heart.
Don't you think it's time we
Put a little love in your
There
heart.
got to be a better
Put a
way.
little love in your heart. Put a little love in your heart. Yeah.
One.
Oh my goodness, that was awesome. I told Carol, I said, when I sent the title of the talk, which is Put a Little Love in Your Heart, and I didn't even realize it until I wrote it, and I'm like, put a little love in your, I'm like, that's a song. And then, of course, Carol saw the title, and what'd they do? Yeah. It's our last Sunday in February. So it was appropriate to wear red and talk about love again, right? I need to catch my breath. Let me grab my water really quick. Oh, goodness. All right. So I'm going to literally start out with the first slide that I sent through. And it might be a little difficult to read. We couldn't get that slide to show up bigger. So I'm going to read this to you. Soul family. Those who gather, a soul family is those who gather around you based on energy and essence. Take that sentence in, right? And not on blood, race, or status. They bring to you unconditional love and support when you need it most, and share the same energetic vibration. You come together as one. This is a soul family. We have many soul families. You know, organizations maybe that you belong to, even card clubs can be a soul family. If they are in this criteria, that there's unconditional love, there's no judgment, they're there to support you. And I think about, how did you feel when you first came into the temple? The very first time. I can tell you the first time I came here. I can also tell you the first time I stepped in a Unity church. I felt like I was home. And there's that feeling when you walk in the doors here. And I said it as soon as I walked in. The very first person I said, I feel like I'm home. See, I have more than one soul family. I have many soul families. And I'm open to identifying them very quickly, because when you're in a group or you go somewhere for the first time and maybe you're thinking about joining this organization, you can pick up the vibration pretty quick, can't you? And you already start to know if you're going to vibe with this, you're going to be in alignment with where they're headed. It doesn't mean that you have to agree with everything. You know, I have a soul family, and it's my sister. And if any of you have ever heard me talk and share the story of my sister and I, were the only two siblings, we are extremely polar opposite. Polar opposite. Politically, religiously, opposite. But we have figured out how to agree not to talk about religion and politics. And so, therefore, we can be a soul family. And we talk about the things that we're for. We talk about the things that we love in life. We talk, and it literally, it's amazing how you can do this. I'm telling you, she'll just start to go down that, she loves Fox News 24 hours a day. I'm not knocking Fox News, but I'm knocking anybody that's watching any news 24 hours a day, right? And so she'll start because she feels this need to inform her younger sister, right? To protect her. And she'll start, and I'll say, oh, did you see that bird out there? And she'll go, where? Redirect back to a commonality. And then we can embrace our soul family. But I'm here to talk to you today about this soul family. It is so important to have a spiritual soul family, a place where you can come on Sunday, and even not on just Sunday, my goodness, every day of the week, you can come here and connect with your soul family. You know, I picked this slide, and I'm not even sure. I questioned it when I looked over it this morning, and it's the next one, please, Steve. And that should be the Martin Luther King quote. And many of us have heard this, right? Darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that. I'm going to share time will go so fast for me here. I'm going to share just a quick story of this. I was guest speaking before I ever took a church on. I was guest speaking at Unity of Lexington, Kentucky. Drove down there, and it's a small church, maybe 30 people. Well, there were 8 brand new visitors that Sunday. Now, out of 30, everybody recognizes 8, right? And so they were younger people, but there was a person maybe in their 50s with them. At the end of the service, this particular church, all joined hands in a circle and did the Let There Be Peace song. Those 8 people and that gentleman that was 50 or so did not participate, which kind of stood out like, Well, after service was done, the 8 younger people took off to the fellowship area, and the person who was their 50s, carrying a Bible, beelined it to me. And he's like, you know what it says in Matthew such and such, chapter such and such, verse such and such? And I'm like, I don't know what it says in chapter such and such, verse such and such to such and such. I don't memorize the Bible, but this man does. And so I'm like thinking to myself, oh, crap. So I just calmly looked at him. 30 years in the restaurant business has trained me not to get stuck too often, right? So I'm like, what does it say in Matthew? I'm just going to say Matthew 25, verse 22 through 28. So I just put it back on him. Well, then he went into, the devil in sheep's clothing, and that's who I am, and I am taking these people down a dark road, and all of a sudden I'm realizing he is from the Transylvania Theological Institute in Lexington, Kentucky, and he has sent those 8 younger people into Fellowship Hall. So I'm realizing we're being bamboozled here, right? I'm just going to tell you, when you have a spiritual family, when you have a soul family, they were not affected. I was not affected. For somehow, I literally can remember looking at that man and saying to him, well, I can see where you would see it that way. I love the Bible. I have no problem at all with the Bible. I just don't see that verse that way. And he needed to go on. And that's when I realized there were people in there that I needed to check on. Long story short of it, hate, what is that saying? Haters hurt people hurt people. You heard that? Yeah. Hurt people hurt people. And this was a body of students that were being ingrained to have a lot of fear and to go in and rescue people. And they really believed that. But what I watched was this soul family of a small group of people that stood in their truth, stayed in love, never once argued with them, and they couldn't, when you don't argue with people, they don't know what to do. So they eventually went away. So I just found that slide to, it reminds me of part of it. We want the world to know. We won't let hatred grow. Put a little love in your heart, right? There's the next slide there. Our church, I try to pick a theme for the year. And this year, I picked the theme of connection and belonging. So that is our theme for the year. And so Brene Brown, she's one of my favorite authors, yes. Mm-hmm. And she defines connection as the energy that exists. And I want to tell you, I love working with slides, and the reason I do is because I encourage you, if you have a cell phone, to take your camera out and take pictures of these, because it will help you refer back to what you heard today. We think we're going to remember it, but sometimes just getting a picture of it will help you. She defines connection as the energy that exists between people when they feel seen, heard, valued, when they can give and receive without judgment, and when they derive sustenance and strength from the relationship. Is this why you come here? For connection. Yes. You come here to feel connected to like-minded souls, right? People who are vibrating somewhat similar to your vibration level. Everything, we know this to be true. Everything is a frequency. Is that true? Yes. And so we pay attention to where others' frequencies are. We pay attention to where our frequencies are. And when I'm down, years ago, I used to go find the down people so we could commiserate. Right? I have learned now, when I'm down, I go find the higher frequency people. And I talk to them.
You go after your husband.
I go after my husband. Yes, unless he's vibrating at a low frequency. See, you got to pay attention, right? Because you've got to protect your frequency, right? Doesn't mean that you can't be around them, but it means that you need to go make that call or text somebody who's going to bring your frequency up. This connection is so important, and that's what I'm here to applaud you as a ministry that you do a daggone good job at connection. And when people come in this door, you connect, whether it's their first time or even if they're at 147th time, as LeRoy said. That is what a soul family is about, is doing that. I got another quote from Brene Brown. You know, I'm going to just say it. A deep sense of love and belonging is an irreducible need of all people. We all were wired, okay? We are biologically, cognitively, physically, and spiritually wired to love. Can you own that? You are wired. From the day you were born, you were wired to love and to belong. When those needs are not met, we don't function as we were meant to. True? Mm-hmm. We break, we fall apart, we numb, we ache, we hurt others, we get sick. Can you relate to that? Yes, I can too. You come to the workshop today and you're going to hear more about how we break and what happens when we break, right? Hurt people. Nope, I better not go there. I'll never close this talk. Oh, there is a serious situation going on with young people. Do you not have that here in Florida? There is a crisis going on. And I see so much hurt and pain and fear in young people. And they're resulting to what Brene just said, numbing. They're trying to numb their way out of it. And they're numbing it because they haven't learned the skills. And why I feel it is so, I'm going off on a tangent here, but I'm telling you it is so important to keep this community thriving because this is needed. These young people don't even know you exist. You've got to get the word out to these young people because they don't know that there's a spiritual community where they can feel that they belong, just like your opening song said. No matter where you are welcome here. You are loved here. You are not judged here. It is critical. I'm going to touch on police officers. Police officers are in a serious situation, and they need love. I was married to a police officer. I was married to a police officer who had done no personal work on himself. And it's no fault of his own. Nobody taught him that, okay? And he's out there protecting people, okay? Coming home and bringing that angst and anger home to me. I'm no longer in that relationship. Now you know the reason, okay? But what I'm seeing, and I'm going to tell you, we have a music director, not a music director, but she's a guest musician. Her name is Shelley Siebert. If she's ever traveling this way, you would want to get her here. She's a retired police officer from the Dayton, Ohio Police Division. You're from there, right? Yes. Retired woman. Okay. She has been hired back now since the George Floyd situation. They hired her back to do consulting with new police cadets coming on board on teaching them mindfulness, meditation, what you do when you get angry, you feel that bubbling up. She's basically taking a teaching that I use, and it's called pause, pray, then proceed. But police officers are being taught to react. And absolutely, there's a time when they need to react. But what we're seeing lately is overreacting in an unnecessary situation. And so they're trying, they say defund the police department. I'm like, no, fund counseling for the police department. Amen. Reappropriate. That's a great word, Inez. Absolutely. So, again, we won't let hatred grow. Put a little love in your heart. It's the pause. Okay, with my sister, it's the pause. Pray. Pray some more. And then proceed, right? Sometimes you have to pray and you have to go back to the pause for quite some time. But don't proceed until you're ready to do it in love. It's such an important. Oh, got another quote from one of my favorite guys, Deepak. Oh, yes. Giving connects two people to the giver and the receiver, and this connection gives birth to a new sense of belonging. I'm going to try and hit this as fast as I can. This place and our place, all churches need volunteers. We need you. We can be nothing without you. I'm thinking about that workday. If I were here, I'd be here. Because why? You want to support your soul family. Your grounds are the first impression when a new person pulls up here. First impression when they walk in. They walk around the parking lot. First impression is huge. I used to always tell my restaurant employees, keep those windows clean and those bathrooms clean. Because first thing they see are the windows. And then second thing, they go in and use the restroom. Make sure they're always clean. First impression means so much. What I'm saying to you is, what does it take? A good look around. This is your soul family. Take a good look right now. Look at your soul family. Aren't they awesome? They are awesome. Why? Because they're a reflection of you. We are mirrors for each other. You want to give of your time, talents, and treasures to your soul family, your spiritual community, because they're giving to you. If you are getting something from this ministry, then help. It takes a village to raise a church. Absolutely. Let's go to that last slide. It's again, I don't have the author on this one. A community unites a group of people to engage, build trust, and develop relationships where they feel genuine connection and belonging. Connection and belonging. Nobody can feel connected if you don't go to them first, right? I've walked into many churches where people are like, there's like this looking down. It's like almost going to, Publix here. Have you ever watched people in Publix sometimes? They just not going to look at anybody. They are just not going to look at anybody. For fear of what? I don't know.
Eye contact.
They're fearful of eye contact. And COVID has increased that. So I'm saying to your introverted side, wake up. Get up, suit up, and show up as the light that you are. Because hiding your light is totally against what we talk about here. Your job is to shine your light.
You know what I like to do? I like to just compliment somebody that you don't even know. You smell nice, or you look good. It looks like you took time to put yourself together. And you tell somebody that, and you get it back.
It is. I hope you heard that. In case for Facebook audience or YouTube audience, I want to repeat that, and I'll use it as my own example. I go through McDonald's drive-thru to get my iced coffee. Okay, those people, I feel so sorry for them. I worked for McDonald's 4 days. That was enough. Okay. So I can relate to what these people are going through. So I don't care. She's got the longest fingernails. And I'm like, I would never have fingernails like that because I wouldn't be able to touch anything, right? But what do I say to her? I say, I love your fingernails. And she changes her whole, because she was just like, right? And she said, thank you, right?
It didn't cost you anything.
It cost me nothing. It cost you nothing. Speak first. Speak to your extroverted side and tell the introverted side, I'm honoring you, but right now, my job here is number one. I came into this incarnation to be the light. You believe that? Yes. Are you sure you believe that? Because are you doing it? Are you doing it? If you haven't done it, then by God, get in the fellowship hall there and do it, right? Put a little love in your heart. And I know you're going to sing Love Is My Decision at the end. Let's belt that one out. All right. With that, I'd like to end my talk today in Namaste. Namaste for me means that the Christ in me, and I'll just look around here. As I say Namaste, that the Christ, presence, and light in me truly sees and honors that Christ's presence and light in each and every single one of you. Namaste. Thank you.
Didn't I tell you that you were going to be wowed? Well, I'm going to ask Kathy now, while she's got your wonderful attention, to give maybe 2 sentences or more about the workshop, because this is about the message in the practical sense that she was talking about today. So would you briefly tell us what that is?
I will. Kintsugi art is a Japanese art form, and it is really about embracing our brokenness. I'm going to say it in very short form. Kintsugi art is taking a broken art form and looking at those broken pieces, and instead of throwing it away, honoring it and putting it back together. And to me, when I read about this, I was like, this to me is a workshop on embracing. We all have broken parts. We all do. And so today we're going to look at that. We're going to bring the TV out here. Hopefully it all connects with my laptop. And we're going to have tables set up with some ceramics or whatever I found at Goodwill. And we've got 2 hammers, and I have my husband assisting. And we are going to be interactive. So that's all I'm going to tell you. But I think you're doing a great job. If you feed them, they will come. Love that. Thank you. Thank you.
Let us ask our ushers kindly to come forward now. We're going to receive first our tithes and offerings, and then immediately following, we're going to receive the offering for those that want to support the effort among our brothers and sisters in Syria and Turkey. Infinite and radiant source of all life, in whom there is no limitation in form or in life experience, bless every man, every woman, every child in this ministry, and the lives that they each represent. May the gifts they share from their talent and treasure bless and prosper the ministry as it grows and flourishes in the world of flesh and form. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. God bless you. And then while they are in the process of receiving this offering, I'm going to mention again, as I just did, we're going to receive those from those of you who wish to support the effort in Europe, the tragic circumstances of losing literally everything. Can you imagine that? Yeah, and yet, you know, we come into this world with nothing, and we leave with nothing. And while we don't have the answers for the big picture, we know that we can help our brothers and our sisters elsewhere in the world with what we have, and it all helps to make a difference. So now, for those who wish to support this, and if you're not able to do so today and you want to do it next week, that's fine, because we'll take up a second offering next week. And now let us pray, ladies and gentlemen. We give thanks for the gifts that we have been given in our lives, for the financial wherewithal, the food, the clothing, the support that we have had to make our life work. May we share a portion of that with our brothers and our sisters elsewhere, and whether we know them in person or not. Jesus is said at one time to have quoted this: "Whoever does this to me does it to everyone." So in other words, when we bless another man, bless another woman, give to another man or woman, we are doing it to him, or to the source of life from which all things come. God bless you. Thank you. And now I'm going to ask Carol and the Goodfellows to make a noise.
All right, we will do that. Steve, would you turn the lights up, please, a little? And everybody, you've got a lyric sheet for Love Is My Decision in your order of service. If you don't know the words, please join us. Everybody, please stand up.
And like Kathy said, sing it out.
Yep, sing it out.
Love is my decision.
It's up to me to give of my heart. Love is my decision. No one else can tell me to start. And once I decide to change my mind, God will show me how. Love is my decision right here and now. Love is my decision. It's up to me to stand on that bridge. Love is my decision. No one else can make me forgive. And once I decide to change my mind, God will show me how. Love is my decision right here and now. Love is my decision. It's up to me to dance down the road. Love is my decision. decision right here and now.
Let it loose, y'all.
Love is my decision. It's up to me to dance down the road. Love is my decision. No one else can lighten my load. And once I decide to change my mind, God will show me how. Love is my decision right here and now. My decision right here and now.
Go out and make good decisions, everyone. Like the decision to stay for the workshop after we meet in the lobby. See you next week.